What's going on, guys? Josh here from Fake Education. I know you're going to be asking yourself, why is it not Tone here and why is it me? So before we get into the video, I just want to jump in and kind of explain what's been going on with Fake Education. So as you know, Tone jumped in to Project One of One, a new company that he started, doing one of one clothing pieces as well as sneakers and other art. But we still wanted to keep Fake Education alive, so I am now taking over Fake Education in terms of the Instagram and YouTube channel. Now, I've been working with him behind the scenes for the last 2 years, going with him to all the different sneaker cons, helping with legit checks, building the YouTube channel and everything. So you guys are still going to get the same awesome quality content that you've been getting. It's just going to be me in front of the camera instead of him. So I just wanted to clear that up before we dive into the video. So for the next 2 weeks, we're going to be trying to do several different types of videos to see which works better, and we obviously encourage your feedback to kind of help us figure out what we need to do to give you the best quality content that we can. So for the comparisons, we're going to be doing some of the very detailed videos like we've done in the past, and then some with very detailed pictures so that you guys are able to screenshot the photo, and then you're able to zoom in and really get a detailed picture so that we can make sure that you guys do not get scammed. Today we'll be starting off with the Yeezy 350 V2 Butter. Now first we're going to start with the outside of the shoe. The build structure is almost identical, which makes this kind of scary. But luckily there are a few dead giveaways. One being that on the fake pair, you can see that the color in it is very, very yellow, very buttery. Whereas in the real, it's got a little bit of a softer, it's almost white with a little bit of a yellow tint. And then again for the midsole, the structure is pretty much the same, but now for the color on the real pair, the midsole is a little less yellow, a little bit more dulled down, and you can see the prime knit showing through the top of the midsole, but it's dark. It's not yellow, it's more of like a darkish, grayish brown color. Same goes for the inner sides of the shoe. Build structure is almost identical, but again, with the outer side, the coloring is a little bit different. On the real pair, it's a little bit more dulled down, and you can really see that prime knit through the midsole, and it's a very dark color. There's no yellow colorization like there is on the fake. Now, looking at the shoes from the top, you can tell that on the real pair, the prime knit is a lot more texturized and a lot more prominent, especially in the stitching that goes down the middle, whereas on the fake pair, it's a little bit more smooth and doesn't look as texturized as the real pair does. Now, one major dead giveaway here is the toe box part of the midsole. You can see that on the fake pair, it's very tall and almost wraps around over the toe, whereas with the real pair, it's a lot shorter and pretty much stops before the toe. Here's another picture looking at the top of the shoe, again, just to show you guys in detail how on the real pair, there's a lot of texture and a lot of depth in the fabric, whereas the prime knit on the fake pair looks very flat, very matted down, and just not quite the same build quality. Now diving into the shoe, where you can see the 3 Adidas stripes in the heel. On the real pair, we have very white, light colored stripes, whereas on the fake, they're a little bit darker, yellowish gray color. And just also pay attention to the gaps between the stripes. Obviously, Adidas has pretty decent quality control, so the gaps between those stripes are very even, whereas opposed to the fake, some spots look like they're a little bit closer together than they should be, and then some are obviously further apart. Another good giveaway is the boost foam on the bottom of the shoe. Now, of course, if you're buying these used and they're very used, it's going to be hard to tell, but if you're getting them new or slightly used, this should be a pretty decent giveaway. As you can see on the real pair, the boost foam is very flat, not as very textured as the fake pair. The fake pair, you can almost see all these tiny little porous type holes in the foam itself, as well as those lines that go through every other piece. Also, there's a little bit of discoloration on the outsoles, but again, if you're buying these used, and they're not lightly used, then it's going to be very hard to tell. Again, looking at the outsole of the shoe, There's a slight discolorization, but again, you're not going to be able to tell a huge difference, but you can just tell from that boost on the bottom. Also, on the bottom of the heel of the outsole where it says boost, on the fake pair, it's going to be very intricately cut and very sharp, almost like a very squared lettering, whereas on the real pair, it's very rounded and almost like it was stamped in with something. Now looking at the insole of the shoe, you're going to be able to tell a little bit of a colorization difference, whereas the real pair, where it says Adidas with their logo and Yeezy, it's almost the same color as the insole. You can almost barely tell where it says it. On the fake pair, there's quite a difference in the hue that they're using, and the lettering stands out very prominently. Now, if you're able to have these shoes in hand and be able to look at them under a black light, you can see on the fake pair, there's a lot of imperfections on where they used glue, and that'll show up under the black light, as well as how the black light gets absorbed into the real pair and doesn't really reflect any color, whereas the fake pair, it almost has a neon glow from it. Also, a side note, pay attention in that little box of the stitching on the heel tab. On a real pair, it's very square, very straight, and the stitching has an even gap around, whereas on the fake pair, you can obviously see on these ones, they're pretty bad, and it's kind of a squiggly line opposed to a straight line. Same goes for the heel of the shoe on the outside. Underneath the black light, you could tell where there was a lot of glue put, which would not happen on a real pair, but on the fake pair, as you see, it shows up very well. Now that wraps it up for the Yeezy 350 V2 Butter. If there's any comments or questions that you guys have, please leave them below and let us know if this format is better or worse than doing an actual video up close. We're gonna stick to doing a couple more videos of this with the photos so that you guys are able to have a very detailed image to be able to compare shoes, and then we'll try the videos again as well as some other things. So guys, if you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, subscribe. If this video helped you out, just let us know. Shoot us a DM. You can find us on Instagram at fake_education, and I will see you guys in the next video.